claiming that a bad day caused a 30-pound weight gain,
Went over the 1,200 calories.
So one bad day you gained 30 pounds?
to insisting it was water retention instead of fat.
You're not 700 pounds of water.
I had surgery on my leg. You can't tell me that I haven't because I have.
Here are the most delusional excuses ever given on My 600-Pound Life, starting with Stephen Asante, whose childish excuses and tactics soon landed him out of the weight loss program without him losing even a single pound. It was apparent from the start that Stephen was not willing to change his habits, no matter how many opportunities he was provided with.
Someone would have brought me some fast food or something, I'd probably eat it because I'm a fast food junkie.
He wanted everyone to treat him the way he wanted to be treated, but didn't reciprocate it when it came to treating others around him well. His mistreatment of the hospital staff eventually led to a confrontation with Dr. Now, where his only response was this weak justification.
Seem like I have an issue getting along with hospital staff, and I'm not liking what I'm hearing.
At times, I sometimes I get frustrated. I tell them, if I act like a kid, I want you to treat me like a kid.
How old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
And what's even worse is how Stephen didn't deem himself accountable for anything he did, often making unintelligible excuses to serious questions.
You think you lost any weight?
Well,
And even giving lame reasons to get out of difficult situations.
How many times you ordered pizza since you've been here?
probably like two.
Two times that she knows. How many times that she didn't know that you ordered pizza? Don't look at her.
Well, when I first got here to the apartment, I had a pizza. I feel the guilt every time I eat it. I do.
To make matters worse, Stephen had become addicted to the pain medication provided at the hospital, and Dr. Now wasn't too happy about it.
Stephen is abusing the system to get painkillers. And that behavior is not acceptable. Because right now, his addiction to pain medication is going to kill him before his overeating does. Stephen, you're lying about everything you're doing, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm suspending you from the weight loss program.
And despite being admitted to rehab, there was little hope he'd actually change given his ongoing behavior.
I get the urge of wanting a narcotic again and wanting to get high. I will go back to the hospital and try to con another doctor.
He continued going to great lengths to get more pills, offering weak excuses, and falling back on his usual manipulative tactics, even threatening the hospital staff when they refused to give in.
What are they doing? They calling the ambulance?
No, the ambulance isn't authorized to take him home.
So who's gonna take me home?
I don't know.
So what do I gotta do? This is gonna be another story in the press? I am already in the press. So if I call and tell them what's going on right now, it's gonna be a whole nother story.
At this point, viewers had had enough of his antics, and they criticized his misbehavior immensely. He is literally one of the most reprehensible people in the world. He needs to learn that he can't always have his way. Much like Stephen, June was also in complete denial of her weight and wasn't ready to make any changes beyond what she had already. After losing a significant amount of weight initially, June became uninterested in her progress, and instead of picking up momentum, she decided to slow down, resulting in her weight loss coming to a crawl.
I was down to 295 when I left the hospital. So if I stayed on track, I should be down to 255 today. Okay. It is what it is.
Dr. Now was not happy with June's progress and decided to confront her about it, but June seemed to have already made up her mind.
You are doing well and staying on track, but your weight loss is slowing down. Last time you dropped to losing only 16 pounds a month, and now you're down to losing only 7 pounds a month. This is going to lead you back to gain everything you lost.
I disagree. I don't think I'm overeating because I'm still losing weight.
Despite continued warnings, June was not ready to admit that she was backsliding and refused to take accountability for her actions.
You were 295, now you're 292, so you aren't losing weight anymore.
I just made some poor choices, to be honest.
Well, this has been a chronic problem. You should have been right now under 200 pounds.
As the argument escalated, June resorted to even more delusional excuses to try to justify her slow progress.
The same thing that drive you to eat before is still playing a role in your life and you haven't been able to get a handle on that situation.
I feel I've got a handle on it, but then I have moments. I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't.
But instead of acknowledging her stalled progress, she would go on and give yet another unreasonable excuse.
So losing 285 pounds in a year and a half is not good enough for you. Is that what you're saying?
You don't understand me. It's not about how much you lost. It's about where you're at now and the choices you're making. You're not at your goal weight of 200 pounds.
That's your theory. I mean, your theory is you want everybody at 200 pounds, but I don't want to be under 200.
Which meant that she was okay with throwing away all the progress she had made so far and going back to the same lifestyle she had fought so hard to get rid of. People criticized her mental addiction to food and ignorance, saying, "This is exactly why the mental addiction to food should be dealt with before the patients even get the surgery." But June wasn't the only one who tried to rationalize her invisible progress, as Tiffany would do the same when she got featured on the show, trying to justify not leaving her comfort zone and her connection with food.
I'm not ready to die, but I'm also not ready to give up food. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
She is shown to make little progress as the episode progresses, which eventually lands her in a serious intervention from Dr. Now.
The last 2 months, you only lost 26 pounds. You're down to 646 when you should be well under 600 at this point. So you're nowhere close to your goal. You want to tell me what happened?
I did break diet a few times, but I tried to correct it by not exceeding my calories for the day.
Hoping to get a clearer picture of Tiffany's situation, Dr. Now questioned her husband, Aaron, who he suspected might be enabling her. But before Aaron could speak, Tiffany jumped in and tried to control the narrative.
Recently we had a talk and he told me he would try and change, and he's saying no a lot more, which is good. I'm trying not to put him in that situation where he has to say yes or no, and I'm just trying to not put him in an uncomfortable situation.
Why don't you let him speak for himself?
Unfortunately for her, that plan backfired because when Aaron finally did speak up, he had a completely different story to tell.
It's definitely caused a lot of arguments between us, but there are times where I'll be like trying to avoid an argument, so I'll say yeah.
So, two different stories.
Confirming that all Tiffany said was to try to deflect everyone from the reality of her situation to avoid facing accountability. Viewers had already had enough of her constant complaints and justifications. "I'm sorry, but all I hear from her is excuses and more excuses." She has no restraint at all and keeps making excuses. But she had little to say for herself, as Dr. Now decided not to approve her for weight loss surgery unless she was willing to make the changes for herself.
If any of what you're saying was accurate, you would have lost over 100 pounds in the last 2 months. But you're not even close. So I'm not approving you for weight loss surgery.
Unfortunately for her, despite having months to make progress and lose weight before her follow-up appointment, Tiffany ended up in the hospital just weeks before her next weigh-in, pertaining to some health complications. As expected at her next weigh-in, she was far off her goal, and Dr. Now was anything but happy about it.
You were supposed to lose 80 pounds by then, but when we checked your weight earlier today, you're only down to 627. You've only lost 19 pounds in almost 2 months. So what is your excuse?
I thought I was working really hard, so I don't know.
No, you didn't. You're just saying you can't keep playing games.
It is really hard to feel even a little bit bad for people who got fat on purpose and then expect people to jump through hoops for them. And while Tiffany may have pretended to listen to Dr. Now despite her actions telling otherwise, Chené flat out refused to cooperate in any way, claiming she knew more about her body than a certified and renowned doctor like Dr. Now.
I graduated college. I graduated high school at 16. I am very knowledgeable.
And had a habit of throwing a tantrum when things didn't go her way.
You're not 700 pounds of water.
Ever since I had surgery on my leg, you can't tell me that I haven't, because I have. I've been through this since I was 15 years old.
Chené can easily be considered one of the most delusional patients on the show, with her believing that everything related to her weight was not because of her negligence, but the health problems she assumed she had.
You were supposed to lose 30 pounds in a month. And instead, you're at 693, and that is a 28-pound weight gain.
Yeah.
So you want to explain to me how this happened?
I have a lot of fluid in my legs.
Can you try something else? Because I heard that one 1,000 times.
Even after being confronted on multiple occasions about her weight, she always had an argument or an excuse ready to try to justify her own inability to do things she was supposed to do.
Did you even reduce a single thing in your diet?
I cut pork out and I started eating crab meat and shrimp.
I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me.
I'm trying to choose better foods.
Okay, and you made the good choices, don't you think? Got to show on the scale?
Yes, sir.
And is shown on the scale?
It's not.
Why?
Because I made some bad food choices.
It was this stubborn refusal to face reality that led viewers to call her out. Not only did she fail the program in the most spectacular way possible, but she also pretty much had the mentality of a teenager who dropped out of high school before she even finished her freshman year, which can be seen visibly in her conversations with Dr. Now.
To gain like you did, you still have to be eating over 10,000 calories a day. You're not realizing that?
I did not realize that.
You're still eating whatever you want, whenever you want.
Things would only go downhill for Chené following their argument, as while Chené was admitted to the hospital and being administered a controlled diet, she had the nerve to order a large pizza and eat it on the hospital bed, negating all efforts she and the hospital staff had made so far. However, this would not go unnoticed, and after being countered by Dr. Now about sneaking food in the hospital, she refused to take the blame completely.
Hey, Chené, see what I found.
Freddie.
What about Freddie?
That belongs to Freddie.
Chené, the lying need to stop now.
This wouldn't be the end of it, as Chené kept denying eating the pizza, giving countless illogical excuses that Dr. Now, of course, didn't buy.
You both need to stop lying. You came here to have weight loss surgery. You haven't lost any weight in 4 months. Why?
I'm telling you, doctor, I got water
You
weight.
should have lost 130 pounds by now. And you eating this junk and you keep lying to me.
She didn't eat.
I'm not eating any of that.
Then how come you're not losing weight?
I haven't ate anything.
You keep repeating the same lie.
She didn't do it. Telling you the truth, like I wouldn't lie about that.
It started
She really
pissing me off.
hasn't working for it.
She further went on and started throwing a tantrum to save herself from the questioning and accountability.
If you have weight loss surgery, how are you gonna lose weight?
Because I'm gonna work to get the weight off. The surgery's not gonna fix it.
Okay.
It's just a tool to do it.
By eating less, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you eat less, you lose weight, right?
Yes.
You're not losing weight, so you're not eating less, right?
I am.
But even after Dr. Now's continued warnings to try to make better changes for her health,
You were supposed to lose 30 pounds by today. So I think this is just another excuse because you know you have been overeating again. And you probably haven't lost any weight.
she continued staying delusional and argued that her weight gain was barely her fault.
I don't eat that much, but I still have water gain. And you tried to say, no, that is not fluid, but it is. I know my body. I've been in this body for 28 years.
And even went as far as blocking Dr. Now's number later on in the episode. As expected, Chené did not last very long in the program. Tara, however, did make it to the end despite her initial arguments and confrontations with Dr. Now. Her journey on the show was rocky from the very beginning, not because she couldn't change, but because she wouldn't. She started her weight loss journey deeply addicted to food and extremely resistant to change.
This is my hiding stash. It's when I feel down, I know where it's at, so I can grab me something and got a quick fix. Food doesn't judge me.
And while that kind of thinking isn't uncommon among patients on the show, what truly held Tara back was her delusion. She convinced herself that dropping just a few pounds each month was enough to reach her goal, all while overlooking the health risks stacking up behind the scenes and the very food choices fueling them.
I've lost 5 pounds.
5 pounds in 1 month?
Yeah, I used to gain 20 pounds in 1 month. That's good.
Not only that, but she even lied to Dr. Now about her food intake to make it look as if she was really following his diet plan.
No, my house is not a trap.
Because I'm used to doing what I know.
Okay, letting you know now.
I may cheat a little bit here and there, but I'm really trying. It's not just about when my stomach says I'm done. It's about when my head says I'm done. so it's hard to stop.
She's full of excuses. The food she cooks for her kids and herself is a big no, with not a single vegetable in sight. What's worse is that even after multiple appointments with him and even hiring a personal trainer to aid her progress, she was not willing to make the necessary changes and considered herself unable to follow even basic instructions like walking around.
My trainer told me to walk more and stay active, and I'm really trying. But I still need to use my scooter. My knees have been bothering me. I can hardly walk.
Tara's progress stalled as she clung to illogical justifications, and where she once lost 5 pounds between visits every month, she managed to lose only 2 by her next follow-up a few months later.
You're still eating too many calories for your metabolism. That's why you're not losing weight.
You can preach and preach and preach. I don't eat nothing I'm not supposed to.
Well,
things I used to eat, I don't eat anymore.
Despite her almost invisible progress, she was still not willing to give up her stance that she was making progress.
Tara, we need to get you back on track now. If you can, there's nothing more I can do for you.
Do you understand what he told you?
Yes, I understand. I'm gonna starve myself for 2 weeks to make everybody happy. I'm done with this. I quit. I'm done. I'm going to my house.
Tara ended up losing over 300 pounds by the end of the episode. Meanwhile, Lisa Fleming spent an entire year claiming to make these same efforts, but failed miserably. Being one of the oldest people to be featured on the show, Lisa had little flexibility when it came to changing her habits, especially when it came to food.
Real last minute, can I have a little bowl of Fruit Loops?
This is what landed her into arguments with Dr. Now every now and then.
You should have easily been able to lose good amount of weight.
I don't believe it's gained in weight.
You clearly didn't stick to the diet.
No.
You have not lost weight and you're significantly overweight.
Okay, all I want to do is get cleaned up. I'm not even gonna fight you.
But Lisa refused to change her eating habits. After failing to meet her weight loss goals multiple times, Dr. Now sent a nutritionist to check in on her. And what she found was both shocking and somehow exactly what you'd expect from Lisa.
Pudding. And there's bread. I'm definitely not a white bread fan.
Neither am I. That's Herbert is the bread fan.
And there's pizza rolls.
He's the pizza roll fan.
Let's see. Now, I also see a giant box of donuts. Who's eating that? I didn't even see that.
That's Herbert breakfast.
Lisa was quick to put the blame on her boyfriend Hubert to avoid facing accountability of any sort.
Okay, so who's eating the double cookies and cream and lasagna?
Let me see, because I didn't know Herbert went to the store today.
Okay, Lisa, I can tell you that if Herbert's eating this, you're eating it too.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
One commenter judged her attitude best, saying, "This is not a food addiction. This is a victim mentality. This woman has never taken responsibility for anything. And she enjoys someone constantly looking after her. Everyone helping her is simply enabling her and allowing her to be the way she is." She was even ready to fire excuses when Dr. Now questioned her little progress after months of being on the program.
Why aren't you doing anything you're supposed to be doing?
I'm trying. It's just a slow process with me.
Okay, this is going nowhere. Herbert, how's she getting to weight? What has she been eating?
Well, it'd be like green beans, raw chicken and stuff like that.
So you're just eating healthy, somehow you gain weight?
But things got even more heated when Lisa thought it was a great idea to sneak in food while literally being on a controlled diet in the hospital.
He was eating them because
How did they end up in your bed then?
He was laying right there because I was crying this morning.
Lisa, stop it. This is the junk you've been eating. This is why you're not losing any weight. Herbert is sneaking in junk food for you. And you two keep lying about it.
The worst part is she kept doing it because it was the only way to stay in control.
Herbert tries to steer me in the right direction, but I know exactly how to get what I want from him.
Eventually, after being discharged, Lisa landed back in the hospital again, claiming she had severe leg pain. But upon Dr. Now questioning her habits, she would give the most unreasonable and illogical excuses ever.
But you haven't been walking. How about your eating habits?
I'm trying to make changes without I couldn't afford to buy groceries and buy pads and diapers and stuff that I really need.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with your eating habit?
Because it's either buy that or buy groceries. I could only buy.
She even made it clear who she thought was really at fault for her invisible progress.
Once I'm stressed, I will eat. I'm so stressed out. And I hate being in the bed. I want to get up.
Okay.
I need help. Nobody helps me. It's just him.
People were justifiably critical of her remarks. And one even pointed out how Dr. Now got her infection under control, gave her meal plans, and got her a physical therapist, a registered dietitian, and she says nobody gave her the tools to help. It's safe to say that Lisa was a lost cause right from the start. Much like James King, who was thrown out of the program by Dr. Now because of his illogical excuses. From the very beginning, James used his circumstances as a crutch to justify his food cravings.
That's nowhere near what I need, so I'm really depressed right now. And I don't know what to do except eat. Because what's the point of being on any diet if I can't get help?
His refusal to follow even the most basic dietary guidelines visibly frustrated Dr. Now.
James, if they don't bring you food, what are you going to do to her? Scream? Yell?
Usually argue with her.
That's all.
Well, I get mad.
But James acted as though he genuinely didn't understand what was expected of him, despite having ballooned to 750 pounds.
This is not a weight loss.
I haven't talked to you for the first time. I think, what, 4 months ago?
4 months is enough to lose 100 pounds. To get under 600 pounds.
Really?
Yes.
Even then, he still believed he could continue his extreme eating habits unchecked.
You need to change, and she needs to stop bringing you food.
I have to eat something.
No, you don't have to eat something. You have eaten 800 pounds of food in you.
This would get even worse for James, as not so long after his appointment with the doctor, he would be rushed to the hospital due to congestive heart failure. And while this was a warning sign for him to make better dietary choices, James ignored the red flags and continued with his binge eating.
But ever since I've had my heart failure, all that stress and stuff has been making it hard for me to resist my cravings.
And even tried to justify cheating on his diet.
You don't want fish or shrimp?
No, I don't want that. Order me Chinese. Egg rolls and rice, fried rice.
I don't know about the rice, though.
That's what I want, though.
But rice is on that paper that we're not supposed to have.
It's fried.
It's still rice.
The fact of ordering food didn't do it a double slap in the face, but both James and his wife Lisa were far from understanding the reality of his situation, with Lisa even making a diabolical claim to try to explain why he was gaining instead of losing weight.
But I'm telling you right now, I have not gave him no food.
Okay.
How
does she lose 80 pounds, right?
No, it's not a miracle. His body doesn't burn calories.
An excuse which, according to the viewers, was the dumbest excuse they had ever heard. To Dr. Now, he was a lost cause, but to James, he was the victim who had been denied the help he really needed, which he complained about several times during his visits to the hospital.
You know that I'm just now getting the resources that I've been needing.
We're talking about your food. We're not talking anything
All
else.
of it. I've needed all of it, though, to start with. I haven't had home health. I've had nothing.
Are you telling me that to start? What did that have to do with your eating habit?
Well,
you should have Ross right now.
I asked for a nutritionist when I first got here, too, and I didn't get it.
James, this is ridiculous.
It was evident now that James was not even willing to help himself, which would be the same case with Jean, with her morbid obesity and emotional dependence on food, making success unlikely for her right from the start. But what truly held her back wasn't just the addiction, but her mindset that made her believe that she was making progress, even when she wasn't. So when questioned about her weight or diet, she'd respond with excuses that made no sense.
If I get hungry, I'll have like an orange.
Then after that?
That's it.
till you go to bed?
Yeah, usually.
It was clear she had convinced herself that nothing was ever her fault, no matter how obvious the truth was.
But you're still leaving a lot out, because that will get you up to over 700 pounds. So you're already blaming your weight on other things, and now you're lying to me about how much you eat.
And it was also hard for viewers to understand why she wouldn't make any efforts for herself. It's very hard to feel sorry for her. She was always delusional, and she refused to work, even a little bit. But this wouldn't be the only unreasonable excuse she would give for her slow progress, as in her next appointment with Dr. Now, Jean would make an excuse even more unrealistic.
So all you needed to do was lose the remaining 50 pounds in 6 weeks on your own to get down to your overall goal I gave you. But instead, you gained back 29 pounds.
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
I mean, I had a day that I went over the 1,200 calories.
So one bad day and you gained 30 pounds?
Dr. Now tried to reason with her, urging her to make real progress, but no matter how he framed it, Jean stayed firmly stuck in her ways.
The only way that you're gonna survive is if you start to take this seriously, but you're not. And you're not focused on doing this.
If I wasn't focused, I wouldn't have stopped smoking, and I wouldn't have stopped soda.
Okay, you're giving yourself a really good pass because...
No, I'm not giving myself a pass, but it means that I can do it.
She blamed everyone but herself for the states she was in. I feel no sympathy for her or her mother at all. They chose to live like that. To add to her delusion, Jean would try to justify her morbid obesity with a far-fetched excuse.
Not making any progress, and you think this is something that we should...
I didn't get fat overnight, and it's not gonna take a couple weeks or a month or whatever. Everybody's different, and I'm gonna do it.
Dr. Now even maintained that if she were to continue with the facade, things wouldn't change for her at all, which they didn't, and Jean ended up failing miserably. She was also among many patients who sued the show for alleged negligence and emotional distress. Just like Jean, Justin Asante blamed his brother Steven for his lack of progress instead of taking accountability. On top of that, Justin's social anxiety added to the complexity of this case, which made open communications with Dr. Now nearly impossible.
Doctor's here.
I want to go home. I don't want to stay here.
Please, let him communicate with you. He knows you're upset.
He wasn't open to any changes because, in his opinion, his brother was the only one who had a problem, which gave Justin a free pass to do whatever he wanted.
I'm just ready to go and get back home. And I don't need help like this. Steven does. So I'm not staying here and getting admitted to the hospital. Whatever happens, I'm going home tomorrow.
Even though he himself was not very far off from becoming just like Steven in terms of his dangerous eating habits and unhealthy weight gain, this deepened the delusion of his case, with Justin believing that he didn't need to stick to a diet as long as he wasn't gaining any more weight.
I went over the doctor's diet plan, but I'm mostly still eating what I want. I want to lose weight, but right now I'm maintaining because I don't think I've gained anything. So I feel like I'm doing well.
Much like Pauline, who wasn't willing to take the blame on herself no matter what, with her trying to justify her massive fast food cravings.
I am ready for this trip to be over.
Do you want some beef jerky, baby?
There aren't a lot of healthy options on the road, and I can't really get in and out of the van, so we have to go with fast food.
I think I want chili cheese fries and a drink. I guess a deluxe dog with a pretzel bun, okay?
Can I get a deluxe dog?
To her giving unreasonable excuses when she couldn't justify her stalled progress.
How is the thing going with your activity?
I haven't done a lot of activity in the last week because my stomach hurts.
I don't think you're getting how serious this situation is.
Well, I do have a problem with water retention. It may not have been water weight.
Pauline, you gained weight.
Pauline had a list of excuses ready to fire at anyone who held her accountable in any way. What's worse is how she tried to blame the hospital staff for her inability to make good progress.
I've been in the hospital for a while now, and they've had me on a restricted diet. Sometimes the food isn't that great, but I'm dealing with it. I don't think I really needed to be in the hospital to do this. I know that I can do this on my own, and there are times I feel like I'm being pushed a little too hard. I am just ready to be home.
Why do they always pull the I know my body better than the doctor BS? Clearly, if you knew your body, you wouldn't have pushed it far past the human limits of how fat you can be. She wouldn't even try to justify her own lack of progress.
Pauline, 10-pound loss mean that you're still eating what you want.
I've done good. You could see by the scale. You told me you only believe the scale.
That's because you had weight loss surgery.
I know,
That
but
doesn't
I'm
mean
eating
that
good
you're
too.
Eating healthy. You should have lost at least 60 to 80 pounds. Pauline is plain dumb.
And despite being in the program for so many months and not losing any weight, she was not ready to admit that she was barely making any effort. And the same could be said about Penny, who insisted on being in control of her own weight loss journey, despite having no idea what she was doing. Penny's episode started with her being approved for weight loss surgery, and while it set the expectations for her reaching her goals pretty soon, things quickly spiraled downhill.
What is it?
Bariatric soft diet, 1,200 calories.
Why am I on a soft diet?
That's the orders that he...
Well, he needs to get his poop in a group or else I'm gonna order something. No one told me I had to lose weight when I got here.
Even while being admitted to the hospital, Penny would make things harder for herself by relying on her illogical excuses and delusion.
Are you able to finish the whole thing you're eating?
A meal? No.
The less you eat, the better it is.
I'm like 5 or 6 bites.
Penny believed the surgery alone was enough to do the job and was all she needed to lose weight. And rather than following Dr. Now's plan, she insisted on doing things her own way.
I cannot function without wontons. They're not the best thing for me. Dr. is out and it's gonna be like, why is she eating that? But I can eat all of this.
And not only that, she would even go to extreme lengths to defend her laziness.
You can get up and stand up on a scale. We can check your weight.
I can't stand today, honestly. Physically, I'm just not able to get up. I just can't do it. I just know my limitations.
Playing the disability card, which Dr. Now feared wasn't going to help her with her progress at all. It was almost like she believed she should be giving the instructions, not receiving them in the first place.
You really don't need someone telling you right after surgery what you can and can't do. I can pretty much look at food and calculate exactly what the calories are. I know the percentages from fat I should be having. You have to make the decisions for yourself. You know, the thing is there really wasn't a diet like given to us or to me.
She's the definition of I've tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas. But Penny's delusion would soon be exposed. At her next weigh-in months after her surgery, she had only lost 45 pounds. And instead of owning up to it, she threw a tantrum and gave yet another excuse when asked why she hadn't made more progress.
I feel that the scales were wrong in the beginning and that I weighed more than what that was. I've been putting it all out there.
Now, if you like my videos, please subscribe or watch my similar videos here.